I'm going to use niche.com to rank the top 5 towns in all of Southern Maryland. What's up, everybody? I'm Rob Schou, and I'm a realtor with EXP Realty in Southern Maryland, and I'm here to help you make your move to Southern Maryland so much easier. So if that sounds like something you're going to do, make sure you use that contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make your move to Southern Maryland a breeze. You can also click the subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified every single time I put out new content about moving to Southern Maryland, making your move even easier as well. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to rank the top 5 towns in Southern Maryland using niche.com, and I'm going to show you how you can do it too. All right, so let's jump into the map right now. So if you look on here, the really cool thing about niche.com is not only can you just use, the different version like this, where you're searching it this way and look through the data, you can also go through and actually use the map and see the grades on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out and we're just going to look at this area of Southern Maryland. This is basically all of Southern Maryland right here. Now, what you're going to notice right away is there's not a ton of grades in Southern Maryland because there's not a lot of huge cities in Southern Maryland, but the majority of the highest graded ones are going to be in this northern part of Calvert County. So let's go ahead and click on them and see what we got. So let's start with Dunkirk. Now, Dunkirk is a smaller town in northern Calvert County, and a lot of people are choosing to move here because of it's feeling a little bit rural. The prices are pretty good compared to other areas around the capital region. And honestly, it's got really great public schools and things like that. So you can look at the rankings here. These are the national rankings, but let's compare it to other places in Maryland. It's one of the top for places to buy a house in Maryland, one of the top for places to retire in Maryland. It's really ranks pretty high overall. And if you look right here, if you're just looking at Calvert County itself, it's a #1 place to live in Calvert County, #2 place to live, to raise a family in Calvert County, #2 public schools. So it's just a high ranking area. And for people that are in DC, in that capital region, that are looking to get out of it, it's a close commute to DC. Okay, so now just going literally to the east is going to be Owings, Maryland. Owings, Maryland is really similar, honestly, to Dunkirk, Maryland. It's not far from it. You can see on the map right here. And same kind of report card, same kind of deal here. And one of the biggest draws, same population as well. One of the biggest draws of it, again, is its closeness to DC. It's an easy commute from DC to Owings, and a lot of people are choosing to do that and pay it, a different home price or a lower home price in that capital region area. Now, the median home price in Owings is higher than some of the surrounding areas. A lot of times that's because they're bigger houses on bigger lots. So you have to be mindful of that. But let's go ahead and go down to its rankings and see how it ranks throughout Maryland. So on a national average, again, I'm not gonna, there's a ton there, but you can see it ranks pretty high as best place to buy a house on a national average. But let's go to Maryland. It's ranked 14 out of 497 as best place to buy a house in Maryland, 49 out of 277 public schools, and just the list goes on there. Now, Calvert County, it is one of the top places to raise a family, one of the lowest costs of living in the county. I can kind of see that, but still, that seems a little bit backwards since the home prices are a little higher. I'm not sure why they have that there. #3 best place to live, and #3 best public schools. So niche.com ranks this the second best town in Southern Maryland to live. All right, so let's keep going here with our rankings. And shocker, it's going to be Chesapeake Beach is our next one. So Chesapeake Beach is actually a neat little town right here on the shores of the Chesapeake Bay. It's the #2 best place to live in Calvert County is what this says. So Chesapeake Beach's population is around 6,000 people, which is almost which is about double what the other ones were. But the home prices are definitely a lot lower than Dunkirk and Owings as well. So let's see what the rankings for Chesapeake Beach are. So we're going to skip down to Maryland, and it ranks pretty solidly in all of Maryland. But compared to Calvert County, it's great for young professionals, best place to live in the county, second best place to live in the county, third best place to raise family, #5 most diverse, and it's 5 out of 11 for the best public schools in Calvert County. So, and Calvert County, if you haven't seen previous videos, is actually ranked pretty high in Maryland for public schools. So for it being a #5 out of 11, it doesn't mean it's like a middle of the pack school. It's a middle of the pack school in one of the top school counties or school districts in Southern Maryland and in Maryland in general. Now we're going to finally get out of northern Calvert County here, and we're going to start going south and looking at the different areas. Going down, the next highest ranked town is actually going to be down here in St. Mary's County, right over the Solomons Bridge, and it's going to be California, Maryland. Now, California, Maryland, its big driver is going to be the Patuxent River Naval Air Station, which is right here, and it employs a lot of people, whether it's the contractors in this area that support the base or people working directly on base. It is the #1 best place to live in all of St. Mary's County, according to niche.com. And you can see its score right here. And let's hop down to the rankings real quick. But before I do that, I totally forgot. The median home value is $283,000. I think that's a little bit lower than what you're actually going to find if you're looking for a single family home in California, Maryland, because a lot of our townhomes and condos and apartments are in California, so that drives that home prices down. But you can find some affordable single-family homes, in that lower 300 range. 283 is a little bit tough to find right now, but in that lower 300 up to 400, and you can find some massive homes in that 500 and 600 range in California, Maryland. Okay, so scrolling down, you can see the Maryland rankings for California, Maryland, and then when you compare it to St. Mary's County, it ranks really high. Now, St. Mary's County is pretty rural, so there's not a lot of towns that are ranked in St. Mary's County, but that being said, it's California, Maryland's the #1 place for young professionals, #1 best place to live in St. Mary's County, #1 place to raise a family in St. Mary's County, #2 in diverse places in St. Mary's County, and #2 with the best public schools in St. Mary's County. So it's a highly ranked area with a variety of housing choices, with good price points for the different types of housing. And, it really is the center of all the different shops and activity in St. Mary's County. Now, it is not a bustling metropolis by any means, but it definitely is the population center of St. Mary's. Okay, so in the #5 place to live in Southern Maryland, according to niche.com, is going to be Leonardtown, Maryland. Leonardtown, Maryland is the county seat of Southern Maryland. It's a pretty small area, especially the downtown area, but it's getting bigger where Leonard's Grant and a lot of other neighborhoods are popping up and just providing more housing there. Now, niche.com only really talks about the downtown area, so the population looks a little bit lower. I'd estimate it to be a little bit higher than this, but it's pretty spot on with the home prices. So the home prices in Leonardtown are definitely going to be closer to that $402,000, everything averaged out. And the biggest reason is because there's not a variety of housing types here. In Leonardtown, you're looking at single family homes on lots. That's normally what you're looking at. There's not many condos or townhouses or apartments. So just be mindful of that. If you're someone who doesn't want, a single family home, Leonardtown might not be the best choice for you, even though it's ranked number two out of St. Mary's County and one of the top 5 towns in Southern Maryland. So going down and going through its rankings, let's go ahead and click on it. Like I said before, you can see it kind of ranks in the top quarter to middle of the different Maryland rankings. And if you scroll down to St. Mary's County rankings, it is ranked #1 as the best public schools in St. Mary's County. #2 is the best place to live in St. Mary's County. #2 is best place to raise a family. #3 is best place for young professionals. And #3 as most diverse places to live. Now, I will say this, St. Mary's County, while it is kind of a big area and rural, St. Mary's County doesn't have much space between these two towns. So California, Maryland and Leonardtown, Maryland are actually really close to each other, within 15 minutes. That's how niche.com ranks the top 5 towns in Southern Maryland. If you have any questions or need any help, make sure you use that contact information below. Call me, text me, and I'd be happy to help you make the move. Also, click the subscribe button, click the bell so you're notified every single time we put out new content about moving to Southern Maryland. Hope to see you on the next video.